It is filming. Hello, right. So, like these squirrels, right? Oh, they look like amazing. Look at that one over there. He's just sitting there eating his little nut.
What exactly is it about them that you like so much? Why are they your favourite animal?
I don't know. Like, I used to like hang around with loads of cows, like in the field, because I live in the countryside, kind of. Nice. Hang with the cows, and I used to go and see the cows all the time. And then they sort of like they would just never. I think they went off to the butchers or something because they weren't there when I came back a year later.
They went off to the butchers.
And then, and when I came and I went on like local walks and I started to see squirrels. I was just like, oh my God, my new favourite animal, the squirrel. So
there's
now,
nothing special about them or different.
I just love watching them like run up and down the tree. Like you watch them like they just chase each other and they run from branch to branch. It's just amazing, and how they're like just like a dog scratching himself.
You should see the way they mate. It's even more funny.
I've not seen them mate. How do they mate?
They mate, but in a weird way, because they like hop.
They hop?
No, because you know how they run up and the way they kick their back legs up so high? When they actually mate, it's slightly hilarious because they can't straighten their back legs.
They're not?
So it kind of like looks like they're just like bumping something.
I can't believe how they can literally run down a tree and not fall.
Claws.
Like how? Yeah, I know, but like how your claws must be proper like to go down, and then like when
they're made for it. Their claws are made that it's like having grip on your shoes. They have a grip on their claws, so it doesn't break their claws if they climb down a tree, but they won't fall off. It's like a cat.
It's the same as a cat. Yeah, like a cat can run up a tree.
Always seems to land on its feet.
But the claws are like inwards. So how do they claw? Does that make sense?
So they don't dig their claws into it. It's more their claws give them extra support, but it's the pads of their actual hands that actually keep them hanging. Because imagine if you were to dig your claws into every part of the tree, say it got stuck, you'd be stuck there.
What, so like the paw, the actual paw?
The palm of their hand gives them like grip enough that their claws don't need to go into the actual tree.
Is it the same as a dog's paw?
Same as a dog's paw, except it's stronger. Wouldn't say the same because it's not like how you say bubbly coming out of their paws, but it's they've got enough grip on their like hands and feet to be able to climb up the tree, and also amazing. Like to be able to hang on to it is what the claws do to give them extra strength on it. So say for example there was like something on a branch.
It's one over there. Come here, come on, come here, look, come here, look.
See the way they kind of like hop?
Yeah, it's like a rabbit. They probably all come from the same family anyway. Look at them, it's like loads of them.
Yeah, they're actually, red squirrels are actually the most beautiful ones.
Have you seen them?
Yeah.
Here?
You don't get them in London really.
You know,
but they are beautiful squirrels.
It was something like England used to have red squirrels, and then years ago
they became pretty much extinct.
Yeah, because the grey squirrel came over and started to like take over its habitat or something like that. And they
take over because they need a certain sort of like habitat.
Yeah.
And obviously there weren't so many of them, so they were sort of taken over by grey squirrels.
Yeah, something
because
like
they adapted to London better than red squirrels did. So obviously they became more extinct. They had to be moved into more of a decent environment. I think it's not just to do with land base, also to do with like temperature. Trees, temperature. They need more kind of open fields, more things where they'd be able to find food. Because squirrels really specifically eat most things, but squirrels like red squirrels need certain
feeding
things.
Feeding your shoelace, like see if he has a nibble on that.
They need certain things. They will put things in their mouth because they use a lot of things. They use a lot of like floor-based things to create nests, especially when they're in breeding season.
I love watching a squirrel dig a hole. He's burying his nut. Like in the winter, I used to see a squirrel just like digging like that. He's literally burying his nut, his acorn, so he can go back and have it. And he's looking around to see if anyone else has seen it. I saw this David Attenborough documentary where they were filming the squirrels, and they were like always aware of the other squirrels in case they come and find it and take it. It's amazing.
It's a fight for survival, literally. Really. But they outfought the red squirrels just because they were just a little more, okay, maybe you can say smart in a sense. That they will be able to like do it.
It's really rare that you come across like this close to a squirrel. Like where I live, it's not as busy as London, so they're not used to people. But here, they'll just come up to you like a dog.
Yeah, they've adapted to humans because obviously everywhere they are, there are people and there are other animals like dogs, cats, birds, all different types of animals. So they've become adapted to it. So in a sense, they're not like, they're scared of you, but if you give them enough patience and you stay as still as possible, they'll come up to you.
It's just like the cows. When I first met the cows, they moved away and I sort of did that. They went, and then
You got to give them time
I got close to them.
to give them a sense that you're not out to hurt them.
Yeah, and I started tickling their chin. Like this big cow, it's a baby cow, but it's still fucking big cow.
Calf.
Yeah, calf. It would just lay here and lie on me and put its head here, and I'll tickle its chin like a big staffy. It was amazing, and I just came close to them, and they used to I used to go see them at night time, and they just didn't used to. I was part of the family.
They wouldn't get upset. Once they get a scent of you and they have like a sort of vibe that you're not out to hurt them, they won't get scared. But the one thing not to do is approach any kind of farm animal from the back, because then they get really scared.
Oh yeah, like always make noise so they know I'm there. Like
always sort of try and approach them from the front rather than the back, because a cow, a goat and a horse have a very bad kick. Yeah. You don't want to be in the limelight of that. We took my dog for a walk and there was 4 ponies in the field, and my dog was just sniffing around the pony from behind, and the pony or the donkey kicked. Yeah, they will do that.
Kicked my dog in the face, and my dog was like, I've never heard her cry like that.
Yeah, no, their kicks hurt. Like they can break ribs. Oh. They can break ribs, break bones. You don't want to be kicked.
That could have fucking killed my dog.
If the donkey or the pony kicked it in the right
luckily
way.
it was in the jaw as opposed to the head.
Yeah.
But imagine my dog's brain, it's Jack Russell. Imagine brain is that small. Could have probably fucking killed my pets. Mum would never. It would
have probably knocked it out or maybe given it like a cracked skull. I don't think they don't. The kicks don't tend to kill. They just tend to severely hurt. Unless it's say a child or a toddler, it's going to have more damage depending on how the toddler lands after being kicked or where it gets kicked. But that's why you don't tend to, unless the horse is generally familiar with you, don't go behind it. Because obviously you have to clean a horse, you've got to clean its tail, you've got to clean its back legs. Once it's familiar with you, it will allow you to do that and it won't kick you. But if it's not familiar with you and you try and creep up on it, it's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to kick you. And you don't. I've seen it kick other people, but I've known that, so I've never got behind a horse. I've always started from the front.
Like in Thailand, where you're washing the elephant, you realise this elephant could just swipe the person out with his trunk, right? Why don't they do that? Familiarity. This horse, I was cuddling its head, and he suddenly went like that. He put his head up, and he fucking did that, and I bit my tongue and everything.
It didn't mean to hurt you.
No, I know. It's like once they become aware of.
They're more scared than most animals. You wouldn't believe it, but they're actually more scared than a lot of animals. A lot of smaller animals, you'd be surprised. They're a lot more scared than, say for example, a snake or a spider. They're more scared. You'd think not because they're bigger and they're heavier and they're more likely to do damage, but they're actually more scared, which is the cute thing, because you look at them and you can tell when they're scared or when they're in fear. They sense it more. Whereas certain animals, like cold-blooded ones, like spiders, snakes, crocodiles, sharks, what does it do? It's like a pheromone to them.
Oh yeah, they can pick up. When you're sweating and blood and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's a pheromone to them, meaning it's more dangerous for you. If you're more scared of them, they see it as they're able to dominate you.
Yes, that's why you should never show fear when you're with animals.
So it's like a horse. A horse, if you show fear to a horse, it's not going to hurt you. It's more likely just going to bypass you like you don't exist. But whereas it's something like a shark or
it's the same as a shark in the blood in the water. It's amazing how they can smell blood, but how can you smell blood from over there? It's like water's like a physical thing. Like how can they smell it?
Because it's a different type of smell in the water. Because for them, water smells like air for us. So imagine we smell burning fire.
Is that really?
We smell burning fire. We know there's fire over there. We can go to it. They smell blood in the water. It's a different smell to them in the water. It's like, say for example, someone lets off toxin in the air, we're going to smell it. But if we urinate in the water, it's a toxin for them. So they're going to fuck off.
Literally like that. Like a cigarette over there, just a slight bit of smoke, we can smell it.
Yeah, we can smell it for them. But they have higher senses. Because we have our 5 senses like touch, sight, smell, hearing. Their strongest sense is smell, but their eyesight isn't as good. So when another sense is more shit than the other incentives increase. So you know how sometimes you come across people that might be deaf, but they'll have better, say, peripheral vision, or they'll have better touch because they can't hear. They'll be able to pick up on things, or better sight.
You know how when a human looks underwater, it's blurry, right?
Yeah.
Is it the same for like sharks or fish? Can they see pretty, like really clear, like wearing goggles, or can they see? Is it blurry like us?
They would be able to see, but I don't think they're like how you can sense in a way. They're not completely partially blind, because you can be in the water with fish, dolphins, sharks, and they can completely swim past you like you don't exist. So they're not completely blind, but they're just not aware of everything unless they're more aware with vibrations. It's the vibrations is their...
So movement.
Yeah, the vibrations and movement in the water is what helps them get around rather than their eyesight.
Do you ever see stuff on Facebook, like where there's one at the moment, there's lions, there's this guy, and he's just hanging out in the wildlife with these massive lions, and there's like the lion, he's behind a tree, and the lion was creeping up, and all of a sudden the lion is about to pounce, and the lion doesn't know that the guy can see him because there's a mirror, and all of a sudden he goes like that. But he's just with nature and wildlife, and I thought, okay, these lions will literally kill another animal, but they're playing with you like a dog would. So that must be a reason, like sensing fear or not. Like
training.
Any animal becomes...
It's also training. You can train any animal like not to attack you or to trust you. It's just about gaining the animal's trust.
Including any wildlife, lions, like any animal.
All types. I've been in when I've been to parks and I've been to like different kind of shows or parks. I've been in like same cage as a lion.
Same cage?
Same cage as a lion. It's not come near me, it's just done its own thing. And obviously I've been too scared to approach it, but it's obviously they can tell when you're in their environment. It's like someone coming into your house. You know someone's there, but you don't necessarily have to attack that person if they're not a threat to you. So if they don't see you as a threat, you're just nothing to them. They're just gonna walk past you like you don't exist, really.
If you're like in the wild and a massive like rhino's coming up to you, would you run from it and let it chase you, or would you go up to it and then it's like 50-50? Like
it's 50-50, because if you
go towards it, or
because there's specific ways you can go up to certain animals, because obviously if you go up to an animal in the wrong way, you could end up worse off than actually running from it. So if you know a way to run up to, say, a rhino where you can block it from generally attacking you or push it back, then it's fine. But if you don't know how to deal with a rhino coming full front at you with its horn pointing, your best way is to, like, say you're on a football field, dodge it like a football.
Do you know the way to beat the animal is you hypnotise it. So you basically make it go round in circles. So imagine you're the rhino, I would just do loops. So you're now going on the spot, round and round.
Tire it
You'll
up.
get dizzy. No, your rhino will get dizzy, and I'm just like looking at it going round, and it will just lose its balance.
Yeah, no, you can fool a lot of animals. Like you can tire them out, you can fool them, you can make them feel like you don't exist, because a lot of animals rely on smell and sense more than visual sight, whereas we rely on sight a lot more. So if you can trick an animal into thinking you're not there, it's like if you put an animal in a room full of mirrors and all it sees is itself, it's going to keep attacking every mirror because it's thinking something's coming out against it, because they don't understand. But you put a human in a mirror, they're going to look at it like a circus, like a maze. They know it's them, they're just going to look for a way out. Whereas a rhino, for example, is going to keep headbutting everything because they think it's like something is come towards it, but nothing is.
It's just a reflection. With the chimpanzee, there's a mirror in the jungle, and he suddenly comes across it, and he suddenly like he doesn't know what to do.
He doesn't know how to
He's like,
react.
is that a person? Like, is it another monkey? Like, what the fuck? It's amazing. You seem like just like dancing around, and then he runs off and pounces and comes back.
They seriously don't know how to react because they're so used to seeing just themselves, but just basically just different versions
Honestly,
of them.
if you've not seen it, you should YouTube it. It's amazing.
I've seen funny videos like that where, like, I've seen ones where they have, because they do that, they test them out sometimes in like safari parks.
Yeah,
especially when they want them,
or something.
Especially when they want them to become more like adaptive to human nature. They do things like testing
new surroundings, like quickly, like you need to.
They do. They mirror it. It's like, say for example, if they transfer them over to a different environment, and it's not as big or it's a different environment, they use things like mirrors, or they use things like wallpaper to make it look like they're out in
like
the
jungle
forest.
wallpaper?
Like they're out in the
Really?
forest. Because you know, obviously you can't always get zoos that are big enough to be big enough for, say, a lion, because they need open space. They need a whole safari park. But obviously you want to keep them in captivity, you've got to make it look as natural as you can. So not everything in their cage is real.
Are you for or against
Animal
like
cruelty?
zoos and animals and zoos?
No, I'm not.
Or do you believe that it should just always have its place to roam?
I'm for it, because in a sense, a lot of zoos, a lot of animals being put in captivity are what has... It's cute, it's just staring.
It's got a number one fan.
Number one fan,
He's
Squirrel.
watching us in the podcast. Right.
A lot of animals that have been kept in captivity have saved them, basically.
Yeah.
Have actually been, because they, especially animals that have been at risk of extinction, they've been able to create environments where they're safe, be able to breed them, bring up their population.
To that I'm in favour of. Like, as if you go back billions of years, there's been loads of animals that have been and gone. All the ones we have now will be gone, and there'll be new animals like in thousands of years' time. So yeah, saving the animals is a reason why you put them in the zoo. But at the same time, there's always going to be new animals, and there's always going to be ones that go extinct anyway. So really, you're not really doing anything apart from providing an attraction for a human.
Basically, you're just preventing the inevitable, because I mean, like, there's so much you can do, because there's a lot of animals that are endangered, like black panthers.
Where are they? What country?
Black panthers. Some not in Asia. They are somewhere in Africa.
Where's Siberia?
Siberia is in Africa. I'm not sure if it's the south or the north of Africa.
Is it cold or hot in Siberia?
Siberia would be most likely not. It's Africa.
Siberia is Africa.
Siberia is, I think, somewhere in the African continent. So it should be hot there. I don't think there's many places that are cold in Africa, nor in Asia. I think the coldest places are more going towards like Oceania and...
Good nightclub, that.
Well, Europe, innit? That's really, I think, when it comes to... and America, to be honest with you.
You've been to Oceania, it's in London.
Oceania?
Yeah. You been there?
Heard of it, but I haven't been there.
It's like a massive nightclub, like massive, like loads of big celebs who like perform there, like DJs, like...
Oceania, it's like a concert thing.
Yeah.
I've been there once
like
to see a concert.
What did you say?
It's decent. Not Jessie J, it was...
She's amazing though. Incredible.
It might have been Justin Bieber or someone. This was years
One less
ago.
lonely girl.
Oh my God,
One of those ones.
He just disappeared into the night time. It was one of the new, like, one of those artists that came to London. I've been to probably in my life maybe 3 or 4 concerts. One being Jessie J, one being Justin Bieber.
I love his earlier stuff though. His first album was the best.
His first album was cute. I think now it kind of just went downhill. It just got too much. I remember seeing Taylor Swift live or Miley Cyrus, one of those two.
Probably saw both.
God, it's been so long. I think my last one was Jessie J, and that was a good 5 years ago. Because I'm not going to concerts, not my biggest interest.
Do you watch The Voice?
Used to, when my mum used to have it on TV downstairs. Like, I've watched The Voice, Britain's Got Talent, The X Factor. I've been on The X Factor. I went with my friend for support. Got a little X Factor badge with the number on it, yeah. And I took it home and I was just
applied for Britain's Got Talent and deadline was the 10th, didn't get back to me. So I applied for Hunted.
Hunted?
Yeah, Hunted UK.
Oh, I was...
Well, they get dropped off somewhere in London.
Yeah,
and they've got to be on the run for like a month. Yeah. And then they get like an extraction point.
It's longer than that. I saw it. They had, when I was at work, we have a TV in our staff room. So I saw an advertisement for it. It was on, I think it was on Channel 4. One of those
Channel 4 though.
I think it was advertising it. It was like Hunted. So you get a group of you get a rucksack and you get dropped off and they have like airplanes, goggles. And they're basically hunting you down. And there was this one woman that was like, she wants to do it, but she was like, the thought of not being able to have clean underwear and change and things like that was hilarious. That was her fear out of everything. That's what she said. But like, they showed people in helicopters with like goggles and cameras filming you. They showed people generally like literally digging holes, hiding behind bushes and everything.
There's a Hunted USA as well. That's really good.
It would be bigger and much better.
Like, open space and
you've
like
got
loads
more
of
open,
land.
you've got more open space because America's bigger. But I did see it and it looked interesting, but it's at the same time it's like, imagine that, like you're just hiding for a month looking.
Would you do that? Would you do the Hunted in the UK? You basically have to hike from here all the way, or you just have to keep moving. You could be in Wales, you could be in Henley, you've got to stop somebody and say, excuse me, where are you going? Can you take me to Liverpool when you're going there? And then you've got to find some random person's place, you have to camp. You can't use the cash point, you can't be in city because of CCTV. You literally like for me that'd be amazing.
It would be fun because I remember I used to do camping when I was younger. I used to go into the woods like with those camping groups, and I used to camp for like up to a week, and like up to about a week, sometimes even 2. But it was more just the fact of, where am I going to get food? Like, I don't know how to make fresh cooked food like on a fire outside. Like, where am I gonna get supplies? It wouldn't bother me too much about changing my clothes or underwear or even my hair or anything like that. It would be more, my concern would be like, where am I gonna get food? Water and like liquids, fine. Where am I gonna get food?
You get like these little straws with filters in them. Like, it's a straw, massive straw, but it's got filter, so you can literally just suck from a stream or something like that, and you can drink it and it's pure.
Yeah.
Just for like survival stuff.
It's not 100% though.
Of course, but it's better than like drinking out.
It's better than drinking out a complete river. Like,
you have like a Halford stove in your your rucksack, and you like get there, you get a little saucepan, go to Tesco's, get a bottle of water, boil the water, put some noodles in. Like, bitch, you have to live off that type of stuff for a whole month. Like,
basically food that you can just make on the go. So but getting that, it'd be like,
stuff.
But the thing is, it'd be like, you've got to carry all of that because you're not allowed to go back into town to stop in the Sainsbury's. You've got to carry it all,
like, and if you go in a shop, you'll get caught because the cameras are there.
Yeah, so it's basically, or you got to find somebody that you can like say, can you go in the shops?
Yeah.
Like, go look like a normal citizen. Have a suit in your bag and a cap. Just put a cap on and a suit, look like a normal citizen.
Yeah,
just keep your face away from cameras, or get someone to go in the shop and be like, I've got a list for you. Get me all these things and I'll give you like a £10 tip.
Then you've got to find a way to make money, and if you can't go to a cash point, how are you going to make money? Like, you're going to have to say to somebody, can I wash your car for £5?
Yeah, you got to come up with every excuse under the sun. Or what you can do, because obviously no one's going to trust someone with their bank card to go and get the bank money out for them. You can't have a phone on you either. So what you got to do...
They're monitoring the phone.
Yeah, you've got to do whatever you can to get cash in hand. Or you got to take out everything you've got in your bank account.
£5 for blowy, £5 for...
Just take out everything you've got in your account, keep it somewhere safe, and just get people to go in stores for you and just be like, here's your tip.
Strategically put like a bag of cash here, bag of cash there, bag of cash there, bag of cash there, in advance before the show.
Like, set up
so
your
I've got
spot.
Cash, like in Wales, Henley, London, Scotland.
Just set up a spot. Like, go to like where people keep, like, sometimes people keep their drugs. Like, go to a sewer that don't look like it's gonna get flushed, or something old, or like maybe if you find like a them kind of pipes that are stuck to the wall that are broken, that don't let any water out, that you can just shove like a pack of like £100 in there, or like you can stick.
There's so many abandoned buildings throughout the UK. They need to camp. Like, if you look hard enough, you'll find an abandoned building.
Yeah, you'll find an abandoned building. You'll find landlords that are rebuilding houses. You'll find houses that have been through construction. You'll find railways, like underground railways, tunnels that like haven't been formed yet.
Do you ever watch like abandoned buildings on like YouTube and stuff?
Seen
like abandoned, like people, they go and explore. Like, it's called explorers, and they go to like abandoned hospitals, buildings.
I've seen it.
Houses.
It looks creepy as fuck. Because I remember I saw something similar to it. I didn't see a program, but it was like an advertisement, and it reminded me of a movie that I watched.
Scary movie, when like 10 or something.
It was a creepy thing. It's like they there was a group of them, and what they had to do is they were going in, like, to figure out what, like, how long it's been abandoned for, like how old the building was, what's happened in the building. They'd gone in there, and obviously there was like a lot of like homeless people that they met when they were in there that scared the shit out of them, but obviously it's shelter for them. So they saw like a lot of homeless people like in the corners and on the floor, and obviously they're going in there, like there's nothing there, there's just broken shit or like machines and stuff that don't work, and it's just all like, people could get murdered, maybe could get lost in here, you won't find anyone. I mean, the building was still secure, that's why the like homeless people were still in there. They hadn't knocked it down yet, because there was nothing to rebuild. I've also been on sites where, like, when I was younger, when they've shut down
Been around,
like,
didn't
shops. When they've sort of shut down shops and they've blocked it off with like cardboard and construction.
Smash that through around the back.
It's not hard. It's never. Most of the time, it's open because it's only put up with nails.
Just get a drill.
So you don't even need a drill. It's just the hammer nails. So say for example,
Pliers.
if there's enough condensation in that day, you can just pull it off. It falls off. Obviously,
it's attached to like the plasterboard, and that will like.
Yeah, it's plasterboard. It's just nailed. Yeah, it's just nailed into it. It will wear down after condensation. It's more the scaffolding that keeps it up. So once that's wear down, you can get into it. Because obviously, when they build the scaffolding around it, they have their locked doors with keys that you can't necessarily break into because it sets off an alarm.
Yeah.
But when they've just like barricaded it up, it's easy to get into.
You know, when some of these places, when they go to like an old house, like for example, someone's 80 years old, the husband died 10 years ago, and she just gave up, and then everything just builds up, and then she dies, and then they end up selling the house to a developer, and then for like 5 years, developers don't do anything, so now you've just got someone's house with bed, clothes, TV, photos, literally just there, and you feel like, oh my God, somebody literally was living in here, like, fucking 5 years ago, and it's like all the food's in the fridge, but it's out of date. It's like
wouldn't be able to do
another dimension where you've taken this person and they basically just disappeared, and their house is like the bed's made or the top's on the bed that they never wore. It's creepy stuff, but it's amazing to get into their mindset of like, what was she doing?
It is the creepiest thing. I wouldn't be able to go into a house that somebody had died in. That would scare the shit out of me, because I'd literally the simplest.
You see photos of them looking back.
The simplest like creak or door slam or unlock.
I think it's a ghost.
I would shit myself and run a mile.
That's what they do. They have like their cameras, and they hear noises and stuff, and the door slams, and you realise there's a window.
Yeah, it's meant
upstairs.
to scare the life out. I couldn't do it. I would sit there, I'd cry, I'd be like, oh, I feel sorry for this person, it's a nice person. But as soon as I hear just a little bit of movement that I haven't made, I'm running for my life. I don't believe in ghosts, but it's more, I'm feeling like, is somebody else in the house? Did they actually die? Did they live in a basement? Did they fake their own death?
They did Jackie Chan's house. They did Mike Tyson's house. They did Michael Jackson's house. These are all like just Michael Jackson's plane. Because these are just things that are just abandoned. And that you can just get on. That in China or Japan, there was this island, and there's like a massive like fucking 50-story building, and there's just trees growing through it, and foxes and animals, and you feel like, wow, like abandoned cities where there's like an outbreak of radiation or whatever, and they've just left the whole city, and there's
nothing left.
Like 15 houses, like family homes, and it's like, wow, like in time, like, you know, cities are underwater now. In time, this is going to be underwater, and it's just going to be like, for the next generation of people, they're going to come across our houses just like how we come across Egyptian houses.
Yeah, they're going to like rebuild it, turn it into something.
And they're going to be like, what the fuck is an iMac? Like, what is this fucking rubber dildo? Like, what is this? Like,
they're not going to understand what
it's a drum beat. Like,
it's like when you go into olden houses and they've got all those like really old like ways, like those old telephones.
And like the fan thing and the fire that you like to get the fire going.
You just look at them and just like, how the fuck does this all work? Because I find it interesting when I go into castles. Because I went Wales 2 weeks ago. All over. We went Swansea, Cardiff, my boyfriend's hometown, which was Neath, and there was a castle.
Did you get Pembroke?
Pembroke in Wales.
Was it Pembrokeshire?
You mean Port Albert?
No, when I went to Wales, it was like Pembroke or something.
Yeah, no, we went past it on the train. We didn't actually go to where Pembroke was. We went past it.
I did go to a castle there.
There was a castle in Cardiff. I think that might have been the one.
Okay.
But it was the coolest thing. Like, going into the castle, what creeped me out the most is they hadn't actually done anything to rebuild it. They left it exactly the way it was.
You just think this brick was made, like, say, 2,000 years ago by someone.
No, it was falling apart. That's what was scaring the shit out of me, because it was like, you know those, like, dungeons that it's like those really tall buildings and you have a dungeon.
Little window thing.
Yeah, right at the top, and that's a dungeon. So they had one of those. But it was so old, half of it had broken, so there was only a quarter of it left. But like going into it, and literally it was the scariest thing because the floor hadn't been done. Literally the steps all the way up to like the railings were not been touched.
There's proper still cement steps, brick steps from years ago.
Back in, I think it was built in the 1800s.
That's amazing, right? When you think about
it scared the luck, because I thought I was gonna fall. I thought I was like gonna fall down. I was scared. I was holding onto the steps and the rails for my life, and I was crying. I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna get trapped. You went into the rooms, like where, because that's where they hid. Like that was their hiding spot when their castle got attacked. And I was in there. I was like, help me. I was like, is it gonna collapse? I was saying myself, I was like, I don't know what to do. I was literally like, right, let's go. I'm done. We've looked at it. It's time to run away.
Have you ever been in like caves? Like Somerset, like Cheddar Gorge and that type of stuff?
I've been in caves before, because the castle, one of the castles had a cave under the bottom. It was like, you know, back like when World War I was started and they had those tunnels that led like all the way around London, and that's where they kept their campsite with the beds and the kitchen. So we'd gone through them, it hadn't been touched. They had the metal spring beds, oh my god, the kitchen, their pots, the sink, oh my god. I was scared to high heaven. They had their nursing section, they had like the bit where you stayed on the bunk beds.
And it's still there from back in the day?
So they haven't touched it. Like literally, this from the sink to where they cooked, like the boiler bit where they cooked the hot water.
And this is for public viewing?
Yeah, we were allowed to go in there.
So you have to pay for it, and it's like, probably you can't touch it and stuff?
No, we couldn't touch it. Like, we took pictures. It was literally I remember it had like a sink that was literally like half hanging on. And like the boiler tank, it was in Cardiff. It was a castle, and it was their castle. It was the first castle built in Cardiff. The only castle standing, actually, to be honest.
You know, there's places in London, like, they have like flowers and like veg growing underground. Like, no, seriously, like they've got like, and they're growing like herbs and like, I can't, you know what I'm trying to say, like thyme and stuff, because underground the conditions are perfect.
Yeah.
And then somewhere else in London you've got an old train station, but it's the same type of thing. Like years ago when people were here, like the wars and stuff, there's like bunkers. Yeah. There's actually a place in London.
I've heard about it, I've never gone. I thought it would be, because the places in London I've heard about, I've known they've redone it to make it look like it's old, but you know that it's been redone. But this place, you know it hasn't been redone. You can see that it has not been touched, which is what I like. I like to see the original version. Because when we went into the actual main castle where the Queen and the King stayed, the Queen's great-great-great-grandfather. How fun is that? All far back and all that. Where they actually stayed, that you can see was a little bit retouched. The books were the same. We weren't allowed to take the books off the shelf, but I took it off.
Doesn't an old book fascinate you?
Yeah, I looked at it.
That was written like 200 years ago.
You can see it was written. I took it from, because they have a library in there, like the actual castle. They have obviously they have their libraries and things.
This is in Wales?
Yeah, wow. I took one of the books on the shelf. I thought the shelf was going to fall down. But no, it was an actual like full old time book. It was like, dusty. You could see the book was like written from back then. I put it back.
Was it written with a feather?
Yeah, you can really take it out. Like it wasn't like.
Was it like typewriter with a feather?
I think it was. The book that I took was like.
You never got that far. Come back! She's got a book. Bring her in.
Where's it gone?
No, I'm like, yeah. Where's the book?
It was actually, it wasn't plastic as well, so it was actually, you could open the book, it was paper, and I think it was general just writing, because it wasn't a letter, it was something, one of those old typewriters they might have used.
You know at school when like you put tea bag on a bit of paper to make it look old?
Yeah, and you burn it.
Was it like yellowy?
Yeah.
It's a proper old book.
It was an old book, because it was all dusty around the outside.
Wow.
And I thought when I looked at it, because you know when you look at a book, you can see the pages, and it doesn't look stuck together like a fake one. So I thought it was fake, so I was like, hold on, please tell me they're real. So I completely took it out and I was like, yes, I can actually open it. The pages are real. This is a real book. It's not one of the fake ones that they put to make it look like it's real.
Was it the font that we're used to in books, like the normal kind of like what Times Roman font, or was it some like weird font that we've?
It was. I didn't take a look at the what the writing said. I more just looked at the fact that I could open a book and it was actually real. But I think it was.
Right, that's it. Time's up. Pass the book back.
I think it was generally the font of like those old typewriters back in 1911 or something.
Yeah, there's a different font. Like the typewriter font is different to like computer font. I can see it in my head now. It's slightly different.
It wasn't handwritten. It was definitely, the book was definitely made like of one of their like typewriters. I didn't see anything there that was actually handwritten, but the chairs, some of the chairs they use, especially their like kill chairs that they used to like kill people on. I saw one of those and that creeped me
So there's
out.
like a thing you put your hand on that like locks you around.
Locks you.
And then it's like the metal thing goes over, and then your foot like there.
Yeah, your feet are trapped in it as well. Those kill chairs. I saw one.
Electrocution chairs.
They're really old ones, but this one wasn't electrocution. It was the one where you sat in and they killed you like there and then, either slit your throat or hang you, however they used to kill people.
Fuck.
But it was an electric one. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, okay, I'm going to walk very far away from that chair right now because I'm actually ready to cry.
So do you believe that you can tune into energies of like the person there? So for example, if that person was like saying, please help me God in fear, do you reckon you can pick up their energies? Like sense their spirit, for example.
I wouldn't say sense their spirit. I think what I'd more look at it as is if I'd look at how like it was left, and I'd kind of try and see, in a sense, the way how things were left might have been a clue to try and find them, or find a link or a clue or something or history about them. I'd try and look to see if something was in a certain place.
What he was trying to do to signal.
Or what he was trying to say. This, like, I didn't think of it at first until I started doing these things called escape rooms, which they have like all over England. So fun to do. It's like you get set up in a room.
You know Greg James on Radio 1? He did an escape room.
So fun.
Where the public had to call in with clues to get him out. So this escape room all over the country. Where and what is it?
I only know of it all in England. They have all different types. So they've got ones based on murders, like really like, you know that murder.
Is it in London?
Yeah, loads in London.
Really?
There's like, I've been to like two. There's about 5 in London, and I think so like, 4 or 5 outside of London.
How much is it? How long is it?
So you get an hour, and the cheapest you'd ever get one for is maybe like 15 up to about £30.
Amazing.
So they have them based on, you ever heard of the Tim Bundy murder?
Yeah, I've heard of him. Watching Netflix, that's good.
Yeah, that was a good.
Have you watched Netflix? Yeah, that was good.
I saw that. So they have murders like that, like based on like really psychotic, crazy murders back in the time.
So you go into the room, is there like a host leading or something?
No, you're by yourself. There's no host, there's no nothing.
So basically they lock you in and open it after an hour.
No, they don't open after. You have to find your way out. You don't get let out. You have to find your way out. That's the cool part about it, is you don't get let out.
But what if you're like, okay, I've got to go because my kid's had a heart attack or something, or my nan's
obviously
dying,
like that you can, because they've got cameras in there, but obviously you can't see the cameras.
Is it 24 hours then?
No.
Because what if it's like 8 o'clock and it's time, you've been here since like 9 in the morning, like...
No, after an hour, because they've got cameras in there, but you can't see the cameras. So obviously if they tell, like if they see that you're like, you need to get out, because
so after an hour, they'll let you out.
Because you can't take your phone or anything in there. You go in just as you are. You can't take your jacket, your phone, nothing on you. You have to go in just how you are.
After an hour, they'll let you out.
If you can't find your way out in an hour, they will let you out in the room that you're in, because you can only access the outside of the room from the outside. But the point is you need to be able to find your way out on your own and solve the mystery at the same time. So they're based on like they're based on murders, and they're also based on like investigators and people like Sherlock Holmes.
Where's the nearest one in London?
There's one in Vauxhall. There is one in where is there else? Is one in? Where did I go to?
Vauxhall.
There's one in Westminster, I believe, around Westminster area. There's
panic rooms. No, escape rooms.
Escape rooms. So
Sick.
yeah, some of them are bigger. Like the bigger ones that you can have up to about 6 to 8 of you, they're huge. Like
you
they're
have to work
huge.
it out together.
Yeah, you work out together. So you get put in one room all
wicked.
together, and then together you got to work. It's teamwork. You got to work together. You got to put clues together.
Sick.
But it's weird because
I had no idea this stuff existed.
It's not the easiest of clues. Like you would you'd get numbers, and you know how hard it is like to figure out numbers and put numbers together. You'd get numbers, symbols.
Well
You'd need to make patterns and symbols, match them together. You need to look for clues, lift up beds, get underground sometimes, fit into small spaces.
Is this just like a massive building with different sections of like
All different sections.
different rooms that are created for like different scene or whatever?
So you know those kind of like abandoned warehouses that you see?
Yeah.
So the really big ones will be in places like those abandoned warehouses on alleyways. Those are the really big escape rooms. But the ones like, say for example, if you were to go with your friend, just 2 of you, they'd more be like in a more street building. And it would look natural, like you're just going into like a nice desk or something, and then boom.
But it's all set up.
You take off all your clothes, not like you take off your jacket, put your phone away, you put on your jacket, like your robe or something, and then boom, you get locked into a room, and you're thinking, hold on, I just stepped out from a normal London street into a reception, into some dark, black, old-fashioned room. And it's just the whole cool thing about like being able to escape from it and looking for clues. The good thing about teamwork is like the last one I done was so fun because someone had to be trapped in an electric chair.
Have you done one in London?
Yeah, 2.
Which ones? Westminster and
Vauxhall.
Really?
So the one I done in Vauxhall was the best one.
How much was that one?
The one in Vauxhall was £25
Amazing.
for each of us. So it was the funnest thing ever.
But with your friends?
Yeah, there was 5 of us.
Amazing. Fuck man, that's so fun.
It was so fun. It was like the one of the rooms. Like my friend, he almost cried. So he had to be trapped in a room, and we had to figure out how to get him out.
Oh wow.
So we had to get him out to get to the next room.
Oh,
so
sick.
he gets trapped in. And then my boyfriend, he got trapped in an electric chair.
So you have to imagine that you've got an hour before he dies, and you've got to try and like, find where the key is, or whatever.
Basically,
Wicked.
He gets trapped in an electric chair, but it's not working. But he gets he gets locked in it. Like he can't move from it until we find the way out. And then I was trapped in, you know, those meat rooms with the hooks that like
hang the cow.
Yeah,
hang the pig,
but they
whatever.
use it to hang humans.
Yeah.
I had to hang on one of those to keep the light on, so they could see what they were doing. Because that hang cord was a light.
Yeah, if you let go,
it goes black. So they need to see where they're going. So I had to stand in that little
Can you switch? So can they take it in turns and hold that light, and then you go and find whatever?
They can, but obviously I found the light first, and obviously I stood there waiting for the lights. I was stuck in, you know, the meat rooms with those like plastic, like strips. So I was stuck in there, hanging on a hook, shitting myself, like, and all I see is like blood, flashing lights.
You know, I'm a celebrity.
I was shitting myself.
Do you watch I'm a Celebrity?
No, I don't like that show.
Oh, well anyway, they have like this same thing where they have to try and there's like one person there, one person there, one person there, one person there, and they've got to try and like do things and help. They've all got to be in sync basically. You've got to hold this, they've got to touch that, otherwise it all fucks up and they've got to start again. It's like, amazing.
It's like a pattern. It's a pattern to it. All leads to a pattern. But no, it was good, and surprisingly, it took us the longest in the first room to find a way out. But as soon as we got through the first room, it became easier. Then we got to the last room and we had to find out who actually murdered, because he had a diary and his diary had clues in it. So we needed to find out who the murderer was and if he was innocent or not. So it was about opening a safe, finding the tools used, putting it all together.
What's that like dining game where like you have dinner guests and they
come dine with me?
No, it's like a game like Mystery Murders or something. Murder Mysteries.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, you're in like you have like a diary. You've got to find out who the murderer is. You get given clues and cards.
Was it like Wink Murder or something?
There's also clues around the house as well that you have to find, and you've got to puzzle it all together to find out. Because obviously no one knows who the murderer is, and no one knows who the like rescuer was. So you have to.
Have you ever done that before?
I didn't know those. I think you have to be on a show for. Like you have to apply to a show for it. But obviously, like it's whether you get accepted or not. But these ones were a lot more fun because I mean, you weren't necessarily like put in a script. You could say and act how you wanted because it was up to you to find your own murder.
Would you ever do Come Dine With Me? Or those types of shows where you have to like...
I don't know how to cook.
Learn how to cook?
I wouldn't know how to cook. I mean, that's sort of, that also that...
Do your parents cook?
My parents know how to cook, yeah.
Yeah.
My boyfriend knows how to cook too. I just don't. I don't know how to cook.
What foods do you have at home?
My dad cooks a lot of traditional food, so he cooks a lot of like African and Caribbean food.
Amazing.
My mum
Name
does
some
the same.
dishes.
So my mum cooks like Caribbean food, so sometimes she cooks like plantain, and she'll cook like Caribbean like rice and chicken, like kind of like a pasty, or she'll make like a Caribbean curry, which is actually really nice. Chicken, not spicy sauce, but like a herb.
What types of spices is in that food as opposed to like a Chinese or an Indian dish?
So
it obviously tastes different, but what different spices are there?
So with Indian foods, they use kind of like what you would say, same with African food, more chilies, more turmeric, and more
paprika and
things like that in Indian and African foods. Whereas Caribbean foods, they use more kind of natural herbs, as well
herbs
as
rather than spices.
So they'll use spices for the flavour, but you'll have spices like, you'll have like your hint of paprika, hint of chilies, but it won't actually be fresh, it will be the powdered version.
So the herbs are powdered?
Powdered version.
What herbs? Name some herbs.
So one herb that my mum uses, she uses a mint herb, like a mint sauce, she uses that, which also, what she uses it to help keep the marinated flavour, because she always marinates her meat overnight, just so it all soaks in the flavour. So she'll use mint sauce, she'll use paprika, she'll use curry powder, salt, she'll use, I forget what it's called. It's like in this packet that you find in those kind of curry shops. It's like a red packet, but it's like Caribbean mint powder. It's kind of orange and red, but I can't remember the name of it. And that's what gives it that kind of Mediterranean flavour.
Basically, she'll put chicken, chopped chicken in like a bowl. She'll put all the spices and stuff, mix it around overnight, and then you just fry it, or do you oven it, or how do you...
So depending on what she's cooking, like say if she's cooking, for example, just a breast with rice, so she'll cook the breasts, like boil them, make the sauce. Then
You mean boil, you mean cook it in the pan?
Like, no, yeah, in a pan, like boil the chicken, like so it's nice and like fresh. Yeah, in water.
You boil the chicken in the water?
Like make it fresh. You know how you get frozen chicken, you got to defrost it.
Oh, okay.
So it's just another way of cooking it quickly.
So not
defrosting it.
So not cooking it in the water, just defrosting it.
Yeah, just defrosting it.
And then you put it in the pan.
Just making it fresh and soft, as if you were to go to a meat store. Because obviously, like, we don't always go down to a meat store and get it fresh. We sometimes get it frozen. So then it's just another way to defrost it. And then while it's like becoming soft, like edible to eat, she'll be making the sauces in another bowl. And then when that's done, she'll put the meat in the sauces and marinate it with her hands.
So the rice, is it just white rice and then you mix in the flavours and that becomes like
we barely ever use white rice. It's every once in a while, if we can get the right ingredients, we'll make the rice, like we'll flavour the rice ourselves.
So what would you put in the flavours of rice? I'm obsessed with home cooking and I always want to be able to make stuff from scratch.
So the flavours of rice, I haven't really seen my mum do flavoured rice, but my boyfriend, last time he cooked me chicken and rice, he flavoured the rice with a curry sauce, like a curry powder.
Like chilli powder?
Like chilli, because he loves chilli, so he used chilli instead of curry powder. So he used chilli powder, paprika, chopped up some fresh chilies, and cooked the rice in that, and boiled it, put it all in a pan and mixed it up together. But not too, the minimal amount of water, otherwise it becomes like a watery
it was all soggy and like mush.
It becomes all mashy. So you had it a little bit of water in it just to soften the rice, and then he mixed it up with his hands to get a flavour. But oh my god,
you should definitely learn to cook.
No, they both teach me. My mum did teach me how to marinate chicken.
It's really easy. It's the concept of cooking.
It's basically, if you have the right ingredients, which my mum told me, because all she was like, is you just need to know what flavours,
and then what ingredients,
you just need to know what flavours go together. But once you've got the sauce together, all you've got to do is just soak the chicken in it, like use your hands to rub, like soak the chicken in it, put some foil over it, and then all the juices will just soak into the chicken. So as soon as you put it in the oven, the chicken will taste exactly like the sauce.
You know jerk chicken?
Yeah.
How is that cooked? It's like it's pink in the middle, like, but not raw pink. It's like
Raw,
flavor.
like how you have steak.
It's like dyed flavour pink. But anyway, jerk chicken, what is it? How do they make it? Why does it taste amazing?
So my dad knows how to make jerk chicken, and my nan used to know how to make jerk chicken, but my mum's never taught me. But how my nan used to make it, because I've never seen my dad cook.
I just like know, normal chicken, but like...
It's normal chicken, but it's literally, the good thing about it, which I love, is it's not dry on the inside. It's still moist, like a breast.
So is it breast or thigh?
It's thigh, but it's
That's probably why it looks pink.
Soft like a breast, but it's the thigh of the chicken. But the way they cook it is literally, this is something that you need to soak for a good 24 hours.
Soak, so put the chicken in water?
Not soak in the sauce.
Oh, marinade. Okay,
marinade.
So what is the sauce? What makes it amazing? Why is it like brown?
Jerk chicken sauce. God, I wish I knew every ingredient. I do know that there's chili in there, there's paprika. They fry it instead of grill it, but they fry it not to breaded, they fry it to...
just on the pure heat, on the pure pan?
Like a grill. Like literally, like, you know, barbecue grill, they fry it on that.
Is it with olive oil or anything, or is it just like heat? Or is it like... No oils, nothing?
No, it's pure.
That gives it like the crispy, like...
Gives it the crispy taste. That's why, like, you know, when you go, like, they do it in Notting Hill a lot. Like when you walk down the streets, they don't have any of that. They use the grill to fry it on. It gives it that extra flavour.
And that smokiness, the burning.
Because there's no oil to take the taste away. There's no processed anything. It is straight chicken with all the types of sauces. So there's ketchup, mustard, not curry sauce. It's a Caribbean sauce that they use, but the powder. Salt.
I might have to go on YouTube when I go back and learn.
I'm not sure what spice they use. I'm not 100% sure on what spice they use, but they don't use the spice that you use like in African or Indian foods. It's a spice that isn't spicy.
That's the thing.
I can't say the name of it. My mum would know for 100%.
Every different country has its own like flavour, and that's because they don't use the same flavours. As you said, some spices go with certain spices, China, India, but there's some places that I've not even been to, I've not even heard of, and they've got all these like amazing spices that no one's ever heard of, and the food will just taste amazing.
No, yeah, it's all about finding what spices go together for flavour, because obviously you also have to be careful with spices, because if you mix too many spices together, it could be bad for your insides. So you need to mix the right spices. So you can mix things like mild spices, so you can have spices for like taste, spices for like heat, like fire, like you want hot food, like really spicy food.
And then healing, like turmeric on blocks, like...
Yeah, you can have spices for like healing, spices for that helps good for your insides, good for your body, good for your skin, and you just kind of know. It's just more just testing. There's always different ways of cooking, so you sort of get what spices you want together, and then just mix it into one with the right sort of sauces, and then there you go. Because a lot of these spices are made of powder, so if you mix it with the right sauces, like say for example mustard, ketchup, mint sauce.
Is that like you think how jerk chicken's made? Those types of things.
It's made with quite a few sauces.
There's a guy in town.
Mostly powder.
There's a guy in town when I walked to the train station. He's cooking the jerk chicken. It smells amazing, and I had a little taste. And it was amazing. It's not like normal chicken, is it?
No, it's very far from normal chicken. It's like chicken that you'd have like in a curry if you had Indian food. Like their chicken is very different. Their chicken is like cooked through completely. It's like cooked through, so it's completely like if you were to break the chicken, like open it, it's completely dry and white on the inside. But the sauces are what makes it taste so smooth when it goes down.
That's a good point. You know, like chicken tikka from Indian, right? You know, it's dyed red on the outside. It's red all the way through, as opposed to like chicken that's put in a curry, and then you bite into it and it's just like white. How do they get the? I don't believe marination actually like goes into it. So how do they get like the tikka chicken in? Like they have a clay oven thing, yeah. They drop it down with the like a stick. It's all the way through. It's red. How do they do that?
It's a like Depending on how you want the chicken, depends on how long you cook it. So if you want the chicken, and also what body of the chicken you want to cook. So it's like if you cook the breast of the chicken and you cook it for long enough, it becomes very dry on the inside, kind of like stringy. And then it also depends, like if you fry it, if you grill it, if you boil it, will also depend on the texture. And then you've also got like how long you leave the sauces, like the marinated on for. It depends on whether you put the marinated on before or after. So you can cook the chicken, cook the marinade, and then just put the chicken there, and then shove the sauce on top. Or you can cook it together.
What fascinates me,
and let the sauce soak into the chicken, because it does. That's what marinating does, because it basically means it's soaking in its own juices. But obviously it doesn't go all the way through, because like there's so much you can do.
I think marinade is a waste of time, because it only gets like the outside. As soon as you bite it, it's like, well, what's the point of all that?
Because it's still in its own juices. So say like you've marinated a whole chicken in a nice sauce, and then you cut a bit of chicken and you put it on a plate. You're going to use that sauce, and that sauce, even when you're eating it, that sauce gets into the chicken once it's been cut open anyway. It's the outside, because it's the outside is your first taste of it. So once you've like tasted the outside, you don't really notice much more of the inside. But if the outside is dry, then the inside is just going to taste worse. It's like when you get fried or buttermilk chicken.
I get it.
The outside of it is crumbly and crispy.
What is buttermilk chicken?
It's fried chicken. It's fried chicken, but more breaded.
In the chip fryer?
More breaded.
When it says butter, what does that mean?
Buttermilk. So basically buttermilk. Do you know how you make like apple crumble, and like you the base of it, like the crumble bit, and it's all kind of like broken breadcrumbs?
Yeah.
It's what the chicken's covered in, but not exactly what you use for apple crumble. It's another type of breaded crumbs that's used to cover the chicken.
Right, so it's not actually like butter. It's not cooked in butter.
It's not cooked in butter.
It's fried.
At least I think it's not cooked in butter. No, it's fried.
It's like breadcrumb fried.
Breadcrumb fried. So the crumbs are a little thinner, and then you get like southern fried chicken, which what? Yeah, how can I explain it? So say you cut a buttermilk chicken in half, the breadcrumbs like crumble apart. But if you were to cut a southern fried chicken in half, it's like the chicken, there's a little breast in the middle, and the whole outside is like southern fried hard crushed chicken. So you could essentially pull the outside of the southern chicken apart, and you just have a breast in the middle, and then you'd have like the shell outside. But if you were to have a buttermilk chicken, you wouldn't be able to pull the skin off the buttermilk chicken, because it's too like small and stuck to it.
So
whereas with southern fried chicken, it's more like a shell.
Is buttermilk chicken like processed, like blended, mixed, like as opposed to fillet?
It's more, buttermilk chicken is more handmade, like you would make
like
an apple crumble.
McDonald's chicken burger, it's like all blended and like.
It's more handmade. It's more with breaded chicken. It's more handmade, because the whole point is you want, it's like another version. Like, you know how you get fried chicken, you can't take the fry off the chicken, otherwise you're cutting off the surface of the chicken.
Yeah.
That's how it's made, but just with like buttermilk. So it's when you get it in shops, more likely it is processed and made in a blender.
Well, buttermilk?
Yeah.
Chicken?
Yeah.
You can get that in shops?
You can get it in Wetherspoons, you can get it in chicken shops.
But can you get it in like supermarkets?
Supermarkets?
Wetherspoons is really cheap, that butter
like
chicken thing.
Sainsbury's, you can get certain fried chickens, yeah. It wouldn't be the same, because again it's processed. But if you wanted to cook it fresh, it would generally be like making an apple crumble, like literally covering the whole layer completely of breaded chicken.
Wetherspoons butter chicken, is that nice?
It's nice, but the thing about buttermilk chicken compared to fried chicken is there's not many, it's quite flavourless.
Yeah, it's like you get
there's
the top bit,
no
that's the crispy whatever, and it's just chicken breasts.
Yeah, it's very flavourless. It's not the nastiest
you
thing.
might as well just cook a chicken fillet on the pan and put it in a bun.
It's nice, like it's not the worst thing in the world. Like it's actually just, it's nice if you have it every once in a while. But I mean, if I'm honest with you, if you wanted flavour.
I've not had it before, I've always seen it on the menu. No, I go for the chili dog, but they've stopped doing that now.
No, it's not. Anymore. Yeah, it's there. They stopped doing the hot dogs a long time ago, which actually broke my heart.
I know, that's the best thing. Like
they used to have it in a kids' meal.
Pulled pork on the hot dog, the chili con carne, The massive chips and onion rings. I used to eat the hot dog with 2 fill-ups for the chips and the onion rings.
Yeah, they stopped. They have changed the menu because I work in Wetherspoons.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Why did they stop it?
Change of menu. They stopped doing a lot of things on the menu. They stopped doing there's only a few Wetherspoons, and they're the ones more near the outskirts of London that do ribs. We stopped doing things like
pizzas,
like ribs, pizzas. That's new.
Yeah,
that came out last year.
How do you cook it? You got like a pizza oven or what?
Pizza oven.
What? So you had that installed?
Yeah. So we get like.
So he had that installed in every one of his restaurants.
Every one of his restaurants.
That's like $3,000 or something.
So we get like a you get your dough balls. You get your little pizza oven tray. You just gotta roll the dough ball out and fill the sauce of it. So out of
made from scratch?
Yeah, the pizzas are the most fresh made things. They're the only things.
They are really good.
They are the things that are made fresh from start to finish.
They're like Bella Italia and like Pizza Express ones. I was really impressed by it.
They are nice.
Thin, not too greasy. Like
they are really nice. They are the only fresh things we have. Steak. Steak is another fresh thing that we do because that's straight from the grill. It's not microwave. That is something that they grill. The
breakfasts are so cheap.
The breakfasts is processed, like the egg, the sausages, the beans come from a tin, the sausages come from the freezer, the eggs come from like a...
Just to cook the egg?
No.
So it's all brought in?
It's all cooked.
So how is it brought in then? So it's cooked in like wherever it comes
So the scrambled egg is like...
So the fried egg, for example.
Fried egg, they don't have fresh eggs to make it. The fried egg is already there. The poached egg is the same. Poached egg comes in plastic, in like a plastic covering. And
then you microwave it, or?
They microwave it. The fried egg, because I know they don't have eggs, because I've been in all their freezers. They don't have fresh eggs.
I just want a damn egg!
So they I don't know, I'm not quite sure where the fried egg comes from. I do know the scrambled egg usually comes in like our ice cream pots. They have like a whole section of those.
Hash browns, they're fried?
Hash browns, yeah, they're frozen, made to be fried. Same with our black pudding,
the toast.
Toast frozen.
Toast is frozen as well?
No, actually toast isn't frozen. The bread is fine. The bread is actually defrozen, to be honest.
So it's a loaf that's frozen and then you put the toast in.
Yeah.
They're not frozen each individual slice.
No, we actually have a toaster, so that's
a good breakfast though for the cheap.
It is a decent breakfast. I don't like it.
Is that cooked there and then?
Bacon's cooked fresh. It's also frozen. The chicken wings are frozen. Breast bites are frozen. Some fried chicken strips are frozen.
You know, there's like the king prawn things in like the crispy thing.
The spiced king prawns.
Yeah, they're amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, they're nice. I've only had them once because they don't do them in They don't do them in Central Wetherspoons.
When you have your staff meal, anything on the menu? Have you got budget?
We don't have anything on the menu. It's only certain things. Like we can have burgers, wraps, paninis, breakfasts. We can have one of the small plates, but not all three of them together. We can have pizzas, but we can't have curries, steaks.
How come?
Too expensive, because a curry essentially is like £10.30. A steak is like up to about £12. What else do we do? Fish and chips.
It had so much on the menu. I'm not surprised you cut back because there's just fucking so much to choose from.
Fish and chips. We can actually. I think fish and chips is on the menu.
So you put fish in the fryer.
Yeah, that is cod. Yeah, that fish goes in the fryer. We get that is horrible. Like it's pointless. Like literally, when you break into it, it is. You would think when you break into a cod, yeah. When you'd actually like cut into the cod, you'd actually get the fish on the inside. It's like half the cod is just empty and it's just the shell, and the other half actually has meat in it.
You know, like fish and chip shops, it's all like fresh, so it's like pure fillet, as opposed to frozen. It does something different when you freeze something. Like it takes something away.
It's not a full cod. That's the problem.
It's half a cod.
Yeah, it's half a cod. The fish is huge. The fish takes up the plate, but it's only half of it that's actually got meat in it, to be honest. It's not the nicest of things to have. I mean, I've had it a couple of times, but I'm not a fan of it. The curries are nicer. People do love our curries because we have from mild curries to really, really spicy curries.
I don't think I've ever had a curry there. What one do you recommend?
So if you like spicy,
I do, yeah.
I'd say get the vindaloo or the jalfrezi.
Is it really spicy? And you get poppadom, naan bread.
You get poppadoms, you get naan bread, rice or chips,
How much is
depending.
that?
So that for a meal on a Thursday, because that's our curry day, would be, and the drink comes free, that would be like £10.
And if you took off the drink?
Any drink you want.
No, if you took off the drink, would it be cheaper?
No, it'd be more expensive.
Oh.
The drink makes it cheaper. The drink actually minuses about £5 off the price. You don't have to drink the drink, but if you want a cheaper meal, you've got to buy the drink.
Why is that?
It doesn't actually make sense, but it's because it's our day. It's the whole point is to promote it and sell drinks at the same time.
Yeah, like you're more likely to have it if there's a free drink.
Yeah.
So it's actually the money's in the food, not the drink.
Yeah, the money goes in the food instead of the drink. But no, yeah, I mean, my favourite curry is probably the lamb Rogan Josh or the korma.
Not the Joe Rogan. You know who Joe Rogan is? There's the guy I told you, the podcast America guy. The Joe Rogan. I'll have a Joe Rogan, please. Sorry, what? He's not here today. He's not podcasting tonight.
The lamb Rogan Josh that we have is so nice. It's like, it's a good spice. It's like it's a little tingle in your tongue, which is good. So you got a flavour and a bit of spice. And then the vindaloo or the jalfrezi is like...
Is the vindaloo proper hot?
Yeah, that's like 5-star hot. It's 5 chilies, which means it's the hottest. It burns your tongue.
We've done an hour. Do you want to go or do you want to stop?
I'm not fast. It depends how long you need the podcast for.
It does this whenever we get bored. Whenever you're bored, whenever you've got something to do, whenever there's you got to go somewhere, it's just whenever.
Oh, but I've still got to wait for my boyfriend to come back down. He's be on his way in about 10 minutes.
We're very lucky, like the sun right now is perfect. Like we had the storm like for the last few days, it's just grey sky, and now the sun is properly in our face.
That was really bad, that storm. When I looked at it on the news and how it flooded up the houses, really bad.
People's houses are like
They were
literally
sunk.
It's incredible. It's like a fucking river.
There was someone sunk in because I think the river overflowed or the drainage got blocked or something, and it was like there was someone in a car and he like literally sunk in the car. Like someone had to find the car from under the water and break the top off to let him out.
Fuck.
And I was just like, all these people, all their like damages, like the water was literally up to their waist.
Did you see the pothole where the car fell in the hole on TV?
I saw that and I was like, oh my God.
There literally could be a pothole right there.
It just
like,
caved
you
in.
don't know where they are. They could be anywhere because under the ground it's, you know.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's like the pavement essentially is not built from the base. It's built like from, when you get potholes, it means that there was an underground and it was just built over the underground.
Have you seen some of the sinkholes in America?
Yeah.
Like, we're talking like, fucking like, absolutely huge, and they just...
Because it's essentially, they've built it on top of what was already underground. So maybe underground lines or war places that were built underground to protect themselves. They didn't fill it all up to the top. So then here's the bottom.
There's a massive tunnel
hole here, and then
platform. That collapses and then that collapses.
Yeah, because there's literally, this is where the ground is, and then all between there and here, where the pavement is, or the road is just air. So enough pressure, condensation, water and flooding and cracks, it sinks.
You know how big, like, how long it takes to walk to Manchester, and then you think how long it takes to walk to America and Australia. You know, the sun is something like 3,000 times bigger than the Earth. Like, that's fucking crazy.
You wouldn't think that the sun is as big as it is.
No, but when you think about that in a concept, like how big the Earth is and the sun, that is, I can't even explain.
Because then you look at, I always thought the sun was small, but you have to see it in the sense
it literally is so far away that
it's so far away it only looks like a little fun spot. Same thing with the moon.
It's like the sun. This would all be the sun. Like if you look over there, that seems like ages, and it just keeps going. That's crazy.
It's because the sun, like literally, it's the biggest. It's like the biggest thing in the universe. Like it's huge.
It's one of those things you can't get your head around because you can't like...
Because you can't get to it, you can't go that far near to it.
But like, not just like twice the Earth, something like...
It's like triple times.
Thousands or hundreds or something.
It's triple times the Earth. It's a giant ball of fire. You can't go near it. You can only see it from a distance.
It literally is fire.
And in fact, when you look at how far the sky is, and it's further than the sky, it's out of the atmosphere, out of the world. And then you look at it and
like
you're just like...
Earth is here, the moon's there, Pluto's here, the sun is fucking all the way over there.
And you can still see it from
and it still
right
makes us
in the
feel
middle
warm.
of Earth. Yeah, because it is a giant ray of fire and it's very far out and it just doesn't move.
If the sun was to burn out, then everything here would die.
Well, yeah, we need the sun because the sun is what helps things grow. Yeah, we got our water, we've got rain, we've got the moon, but the thing is, the sun is what makes things grow.
Got my eyes, got my head, got my feet, got my hair, got my liver.
Definitely need the sun for flipping growth. Seasons, we need the sun for seasons. Otherwise nothing grows. We'd just be living in a dark, horrible underground age. People would die.
Or everyone would still be in the same place.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be
trying to eat all this stuff.
Because you also get
grow over there.
Yeah, because you also get the people that naturally people, especially people that are born in hot countries and can't adapt to the cold weather, don't even have like the facilities to adapt to cold weather. What are they gonna do?
Fucked.
And then there's the people, like the whole country would turn into Antarctica and it would be uninhabitable. We wouldn't be able to actually live in this world. It would be uninhabitable, not having some type of like warmth, food, anything. Animals would die because a lot of animals need the sun.
Isn't it amazing how
Apart from the cold,
just a little bit of sun changes everyone? Even like my dog on the bed, he sees a little bit of sun, like a tiny spot,
just makes people
and
happy.
it will just go, huh?
It just makes people happy.
Yeah, she'll go to that little spot, and like, what does that do? Like, the sun is so powerful. Like, it just makes people happy. Like,
yeah, it brightens people up.
It's
it
not
makes
just the
them happy.
light. Like, it does stuff to our body.
Gives you a good pheromone. It gives you like hope, feeling, makes you happy.
Did you say pheromone?
Gives you like a pheromone. It just makes you happy. It gives you like a nice vibe and feeling compared to when the sun goes down and everyone's miserable
Eyeballs.
and wants to go home and is just given up with life, and then you've got like the sun and everyone wants to go out and play and meet new people and show off their body and go swimming.
Literally, people get depressed when there's no sun, and they get extremely happy when there is sun.
Yeah, I get depressed when it's winter times. I hate it when it's winter times. I hate being outside. I hate going anywhere. All I want to do is just sit in my bed with a heater and I don't want to move.
I put on Netflix.
So do I. I hate being outside when there is no sun.
I think we'll cut it there. My brain is...
Is it fried?